Now, another very underrated way of working, which is a way that I really like to work, is by using plasticine. Very, very useful material. You can carry it around in your pocket. Anytime you feel inspired, you see an object that you particularly like, a texture that you particularly like, you can capture it. So, for instance, a shell. Particularly I like the shell surface. I love the texture, love the way the lines go in one direction and the form goes in another. How could I capture that quickly, almost instantly? Get the plasticine out of my pocket. Usually need to warm it up. Do that by just rubbing it in your hands together. It starts to soften up. So if I wanted to capture this texture, I could sketch it, as I did earlier, or piece of plasticine, press it onto the surface, put it off, and there we have an instant capture of the surface. And it's basically a low-tech version of the 3D scanner, the way 3D scanners work, but very cheap and instant. Another way I like to work, see, I'm working at the moment with spirals on this project because I'm quite interested in the way the space inside a shell is used by the creature. So I've created this sort of thing. It looks quite complex and quite tricky to make, but just to show you how I made it, I've just unravel that. To show it's instantly inspired and drawn from the found objects, which I think is quite important. It makes the work site specific or relating to the site much more. Okay, so I've got one of the shells I found. Quite like this one. As you can see, the inside, because it's broken, kind of broken away and started to break down. What I'm going to do is, if you can just see the outline of the spiral in the edges, I'm just going to basically take this piece of plasticine and I'm going to run it along the lines, bringing that up along the spiral, bring it up a touch. So following the contours directly, so informed instantly by nature, and it is a perfect representation of the spiral found on the shell. Another really nice way of using a simple material like plasticine. You could use clay, all sorts of different mixtures you can mix together to make a material similar to this. So that goes into a box or something. Take it back to your studio or your classroom. You could sketch from it, so you get your sketchbook out again. Lay the sculpture, the mini sculpture that you've made out, and start to sketch. Before you know it, you've got a perfect representation of a piece of inspiration you found while out on site.